I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. One of the most powerful statements in the Bible is that the sins of the father shall not be imputed unto the children, and the sins of the children shall not be transferred to the father or the parent. Every man will be responsible for his or herself. That's a big relief. The Bible also says, train up a child the way he should go, that when he grows up, he will not depart from it. The word there, train, is to shanan, is to carve, sharpen, and given direction like an arrow. It is to mold. It is to make a model for them to flow into. Now, you can do all that you need to do to train up children. They will still deviate, some of them. So don't assume you know your children. Don't ever. In my many years of running schools and managing hospitals, you will find out that most parents don't know their children. There was the case of one young, beautiful girl that the parents thought she was a virgin, grew up in a very sound Christian home. She attends one of the most conservative Pentecostal churches in Nigeria, very disciplined and decent parents. But she was doing naked pictures or whatever on TikTok. There was the one that went to the university. She got pregnant there. And so the list goes on and on. There was one that the mother came with police and a lawyer to a school. They found out that the boy was a thief. That was why he was suspended. So most parents don't know their children, particularly in this dispensation. I will try to look at some of the reasons and then profile some solutions. Don't ever assume you know your children. Don't ever assume that your children are Christians or even Muslims. You will be shocked if they open up to you. The son of a very prominent preacher was a cultist. The man did not know. It was around the period of graduation that he was shot dead by a rival cult. So, try as much as possible to teach them the word of God, pray for them continuously. The boarding houses are some of the most infested places where people's characters are deformed, whether they are Muslim schools, whether they are Christian schools. In fact, my experience is that parents will bring children that they are finding difficult to manage at home to boarding houses, and they will now pollute other decent children that come to school, come to the boarding house. The next thing is that today we are so much in a hurry to graduate our children. And some people are so, I don't know if the children are unwanted children. How can you call me that you want to bring your 6-year-old child to boarding house? If you bring a 6-year-old child to my boarding house and the boy stays there till the age of 16 or 15 when he's leaving school, he will leave school and go to university. You hardly know your child. You have hardly related with your child. Sometimes we go to work and the children are in school. When they are on holidays, They are with lesson teacher or house girls. You hardly know your children. The hustle to provide for their needs takes you and madam away from home. And these children have access to television and a host of other things, to phones that you prematurely buy for them. Some of your TV channels don't have parental control. And so your children watch a lot of rubbish, and before you know it, their minds are infested from the public space. So we send children to boarding houses too early. We also send them too early to universities. When they enter the university, it's supposed to be for adults. And so you see all kinds of things happening in the universities. And if you're not careful, that child you assume that is very innocent, that you call junior, has turned to your senior. And that's where they are introduced to hookup, they are introduced to drugs, they are introduced to cultism, and several other things. Pray for your children always. Teach them the word of God. Don't let Christianity become boring. A lot of us parents at home will walk around with our faces squeezed like mortuary attendants. And these children hate our King James Version Christianity. So try as much as possible to up your game to relate with your children in their generational platform. Communicate with them. Know their lingo, know what is happening in the streets for you to be able to correct them. Show them the right standards. Be friendly with them, but at the same time be firm, as well as being fatherly. Fend for their needs, but be firm and be fatherly. As I was walking through my real estate layout, I heard in my spirit, a child that is over-petted will be dented. When you over-pet a child, the child will be dented. The rod of correction drives away foolishness from a child. In the Yoruba language, I can't speak it very well. It says, "Were poju nori omo kekere," but the rod of correction will drive it out. That is, there is insanity, a lot of insanity in the brain of a child, but that the rod of correction will drive the weary, will de-wearynize the child. So be firm, fend for them, but be fatherly. As I said earlier on, the conflict between the hustle to provide for the needs of the children. School fees are so expensive. So expensive. I run private schools. My father couldn't have sent me to a private school. So expensive. And you need to pay the workers, you pay bills, you pay for several services. Just like your honorary bus fee, 75,000 naira. How can parents afford that? If you have 4 children, so the pressure to cater for their needs, at the same time to mentor them, creates a hiatus, a gap that the devil fills. Must be very careful what your children watch. Things like the cartoons they watch, they are subtly introducing things to them that they are not supposed to hear or learn. So don't assume you know your children. Do you really know your children? According to Frank Olize, do you know where your children are? But let me tell you, the young man, young girl listening to me, my father is not here. My father is not the one enjoying the results of discipline, hard work that they give to me. I am on my own. One day the government will be upon your shoulders. Anything you decide to do now, you will be the only one to pay for it. You will pay for it. If you don't learn now, you will learn through the hard way. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki. God bless you.